Swisher blunts and I ain't never coming down. Bitch, you ain't no Barbie. I see you work at Arby's. Never do supersize. Hurry up, I'm starving. Gnarly, radical. On the block, I'm magical. See me at your college campus, baggy full of Adderalls. Call me if you need a fix. Tell me if you need a boost. See them other chicken heads, they don't ever leave the coop. I'm in the coop cruising. I got the stolen plates, serving all the fiends over there by the Golden Gate. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis. Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Fendi, Fendi, Prada, Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. The basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. The basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. I put that on my partner, I put that on my family. Oakland City represent, address me as your majesty. Yeah, you can kiss a ring, but you can never touch the crown. I smoke a million Swisher blunts and I ain't never coming down.
Do you agree that there's no such thing as racism, sexism, homophobism, Islamophobism, pedophilism, white supremacism, and all the other isms? Destiny, that's a woman's name. You were raised by your daddy and mama. That makes you half man and half woman. You are a beta. You're not a real man, beta. I just have one question for you, beta. There's just one thing I want to know. Destiny, do you love all people? Do you really love the blacks? Destiny, do you love black people? Why can't you just answer the question? Destiny, do you love all people?
Systems, the company store, the paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers, scum. They're on giant death factories, keeping babies alive and selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around signs screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. Literal vampire pot, then the goblins are hobbling round, coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap, we don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house.
I said certified freak. 7 days a week. Wet ass P word. Make that pullout game weak. Yeah, you effin' with some wet ass P word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass P word. Give me everything you've got for this wet ass P word. Beat it up, N word, catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P word right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top if I want to ride. I do a kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This P word is wet, come take a dive. And continue along these lines. And it gets significantly more vulgar. Like, a lot more vulgar.
I keep that thing on me. God damn it, Bobby. They see me selling propane and now they trying to copy. Pretend to be broke, but I got hella cash. If you use charcoal, I'ma kick your ass. Made this money from propane, bitch. I feel like Pablo Escobar, but I don't sell cocaine, bitch. Shot that fella cause he didn't make his payments. Fuck with me, I keep a rocket launcher in my basement. Made this money from propane, bitch. I feel like Pablo Escobar, but I don't sell cocaine, bitch. Shot that fella cause he didn't make his payments. Fuck with me, I keep a rocket launcher in my basement. Oh man, goddamn, I caught Bobby jacking off. Syrup ain't no cough. Big Hank, break the law. Lady Bird, that's my dog. Peggy got that wet, I'll flip you like a tech deck. Yeah, I run my set, I'm running up them checks. If you using charcoal, that's a red dot at your head. Propane till I'm dead, bitch, I'm off the meds. We be smoking loud, and you smoking on mid. Me and Dale getting lit, and I'm running from the feds. Made this money from propane, bitch. I feel like Pablo Escobar, but I don't sell cocaine, bitch. Shot that fella cause he didn't make his payments. Fuck with me, I keep a rocket launcher in my basement. Made this money from propane, bitch. I feel like Pablo Escobar, but I don't sell cocaine, bitch. Shot that fella cause he didn't make his payments. Fuck with me, I keep a rocket launcher in my basement.
as your dreams go down the drain. Come on, wagey, join the crew. Don't you want your wages too? And if the boss man makes you blue, you deserve it, you're a screw. Killing comes round after ages. You can come collect your wages. Through your bodies have your rages. Then head back to your cages.
going, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to the stream, Leakroe broadcast. Not in a good mood today. Not feeling it. Pretty pissed. I cannot believe how wildly the news has been shaped by that. Slept pretty good. Woke up with some bullshit. Yeah, that's right, everybody. Roe V Wade is going to be overturned this summer. Conservatives are taking it over. Good morning, Loud Tyrant Youth. Or morning. Not necessarily a good morning. I'm basically doing like an emergency stream because I'm fired up. I'm already arguing on Twitter with conservatives. Conservatives in Montreal! It's amazing! In a country where we have abortion! Rights, reproductive rights, I'm arguing with conservatives in my own fucking country being like, this is good. It's normal to sue doctors. We should have a bounty system. We should have a bounty system to chase down doctors who provide reproductive health care to women. We can ban abortion. It would just disappear. Magic. Like magic. So yeah, I can't even wrap my head around this. And the fact that this was leaked probably indicates that that somebody disagreed with it and probably put a lot on the line to try to get it out. So I'm very interested in what that story is. And yeah, it's a Tuesday. I'm just gonna do a short stream, cover this because I'm basically just pissed off. I'm just super pissed. I can't even deal. So we're gonna cover it, see what the news is about, see how far we can dig before I gotta go to work. And yeah, we going back to the coat hanger, everybody. Get your coat hangers. I'm sure your grandmama got one. It's not like unsafe abortion practices are a thing. No. The part where like I want to talk with a conservative and put them into the corner and ask them ectopic pregnancies. When a zygote gets caught in the fallopian tube and expands and kills the mom. Cool? Cool with you now? Just totally A-okay? That's where we're at? We're just gonna let... We live in a world where we could get people to live to 100 years old. But fuck women. Fuck moms. You know? The unborn matter more. It's insane to me. It's absolutely gobsmacking. So we're going to cover the news, see what the hell is going on. We may have to shut it all down to figure out what the hell is going on. Remember that one time America tried to rip this away? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, America is going to split into two countries. Literally, they're splitting into two. The Cold Civil War is starting to heat up in ways where lines are being drawn. Brothers will be turned against mothers. Yada, yada, yada. So, let's get into it. Let's cover the news really briefly, really quickly. I can't even believe this shit. And we'll cover some of the Twitter beefs I'm getting into if that's interesting. Okay, so this all started when Politico broke a story. So we're going to switch on over to that. Oh, sorry, just got the wrong web browser up. Give me a sec. So yeah, this is the story. This is what we're covering today. Very briefly. Can't even deal. So let's read through this, see what the source was as much as we can understand, and see what this. From what I understand, the whole thing was leaked, so we can see what their reasoning was. The Supreme Court has voted to overturn abortion rights, a draft opinion shows. We hold that Roe and Casey must be overruled. Justice Alito writes in the initial majority draft circulated inside the court. There's already protests popping off, people shouting, "Fuck Alito, fuck Alito." So we're going to read this, and then we'll dig a bit deeper. I'm just going to get rid of this real quick. Okay, everybody. Gird your loins. Tighten your stomachs. Try not to get triggered. Try not to get frustrated. Okay, all right. The Supreme Court has voted to strike down the landmark Roe V Wade decision, according to an initial draft majority opinion written by Justice Samuel Alito, circulated inside the court and obtained by Politico. The draft opinion is a full-throated, unflinching repudiation of the 1973 decision, which guaranteed federal constitutional protections of abortion rights, and a subsequent 1992 decision, Planned Parenthood versus Casey, that largely maintained the right. Quote, Roe was egregiously wrong from the start, Alito writes. Quote, we hold that Roe and Casey must be overruled, he writes in the document, labeled as the opinion of the court. Quote, it is time to heed the Constitution and return the issue of abortion to the people's elected representatives. States' rights, everybody. Remember, like the state of Texas that created an entire bounty system so that citizens from outside the state of Texas could sue doctors and nurses, you know, the people that got us through the pandemic. Sue those people, and it's a minimum of $10,000 of damages. And yeah, let's get them in case they may have helped a woman get a medical procedure that saved her life. Let's get those people jammed up. That's where we're going. Good job, America. You have officially become a fucking backwater third world nation. I would never even visit America at this point. I'm so pissed off. Deliberations on controversial cases have in the past been fluid. Justices can, and sometimes do, change their votes as draft opinions circulate, and major decisions can be subject to multiple drafts and vote trading, sometimes until just days before a decision is unveiled. The court's holding will not be final until it is published, likely in the next 2 months. I doubt there's going to be enough public pressure to actually, like, sway anything here. I think this is going to happen, almost certainly. It's definitely, the conservatives on the Supreme Court definitely aren't known for, let's say, compromise. The immediate impact of the ruling, as drafted in February, would be to end a half-century guarantee of federal constitutional protection of abortion rights and allow each state to decide whether to restrict or ban abortion. It's unclear if there have been subsequent changes to the draft. No draft decision in the modern history of the court has been disclosed publicly while the case was still pending. The unprecedented revelation is bound to intensify the debate over what was already the most controversial case on the docket this term. The draft opinion offers an extraordinary window into the justices' deliberations in one of the most consequential cases before the court in the last 5 decades. Some court watchers predicted that the conservative majority would slice away at abortion rights without flatly overturning a 49-year-old precedent. The draft shows that the court is looking to reject Roe's logic and legal protections. So let's hope the Democrats that everyone voted for can get their shit together and protect Roe v. Wade. Or, I guess, pass a new law, which won't happen. Quote from Justice Samuel Alito: Roe was egregiously wrong from the start. Its reasoning was exceptionally weak, and the decision has had damaging consequences. And far from bringing about a national settlement of the abortion issue, Roe and Casey have inflamed debate and deepened division. It's almost like women just want healthcare. No, we can't trust women on matters of healthcare. Their brains are too small. Like this is where we're at right now. Like, it's so fucking crazy. It's absolutely maddening. A person familiar with the court's deliberations said that 4 of the other Republican-appointed justices, Clarence Thomas, Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett, had voted with Alito in the conference held among the justices after hearing oral arguments in December, and that lineup remains unchanged as of this week. You know what's most interesting about this? Roberts, the Chief Justice, has officially lost control of his fucking court. He is now at the whim of a radical right-wing political minority that are pushing through some pretty insane shit. I think the what is it? The fig leaf of originalism is worn through at this point. We don't really give a shit anymore about your weak reasoning. This is honestly incredible. Actually, it says how Justice John Roberts will ultimately vote, and whether he will join an already written opinion or draft his own is unclear. So excuse me, it does not seem he is signed. Okay, so the dissent has not come out yet. The 3 Democratic appointed justices, Breyer, Sotomayor, and Kagan, are working on 1 or more dissents, so we won't actually be able to read it, according to the source. And we don't know about Chief Justice Roberts. But, I mean, at this point, the radical right have taken it. It's game over. It's GG. GG. Welcome to decades of right-wing authoritarian rule, everybody. Let's fucking go. The document, labeled as a first draft of the majority opinion, includes a notation that it was circulated among the justices on February 10th. If the Alito draft is adopted, it would rule in favor of Mississippi in the closely watched case over that state's attempt to ban most abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. A Supreme Court spokesperson declined to comment or make another representative of the court available to answer questions about the draft document. So here we go, everybody. Here we go. This is it. So yeah. Just don't have a uterus. If you have a uterus, try not to have it. Just don't. Just try not to have one. If you're an American, just, yeah. Do you really need kids? Today on This is the Bad Place. Yeah, we're full on in Hell World. We're descending into the 7th, 8th circle at this point. It's actually starting to get cold. That's how deep we're getting into the bad place. Politico received a copy of the draft opinion from a person familiar with the court's proceedings in the Mississippi case, along with other details supporting the authenticity of the document. The draft opinion runs 98 pages, including a 31-page appendix of historical state abortion laws. The document is replete with citations to previous court decisions, books, and other authorities, and includes 118 footnotes. The appearances and timing of this draft are consistent with court practice. The disclosure of Alito's draft majority opinion, a rare breach of Supreme Court secrecy and tradition around its deliberations, comes as all sides in the abortion debate are girding for the ruling. Hear that? I told you to gird your loins, and now we're all girding for the ruling. Fuck. Speculation about the looming decision has been intense since the December oral arguments indicated a majority was inclined to support the Mississippi law. Under long-standing court procedures, justices hold preliminary votes on cases shortly after argument and assign a member of the majority to write a draft of the court's opinion. The draft is often amended in consultation with other justices, and in some cases the justices change their votes altogether, creating the possibility that the current alignment on Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Organization could change. Lol, as if. The Chief Justice typically assigns majority opinions when he is in the majority. When he is not, that decision is typically made by the most senior justice in the majority. So, yeah. I mean, a lot of legal analysts would have said that Roe v. Wade is on shaky ground. And it's not a big surprise that it's being overturned. The part that chafes is that it's wildly unpopular and is mostly being pushed like by a pretty active minority of the population that have literally tried to overthrow the government. So it's frustrating, to say the least, that we got to now read about, you know, moral reasoning and, you know, the high-minded reasoning of the justices. Like, Jesus, y'all were appointed by a crook. Like, come the fuck on. Wicked Minnie, the issue is abortion is healthcare, and certain states will ban it, and everyone knows that. Certain states have what are known as trigger laws. So as soon as this, so look, yeah, get ready. This is the hell that America is about to sink into. Trigger laws, abortion, America. So 26 states are certain or likely to ban abortion without Roe. America is literally going to become a third world country almost overnight. It is incredible. I cannot communicate to the conservatives, to Americans, enough at how much of a moral pariah this will make you in the world. The West will look at this and go, America's lost its goddamn mind. That's what's gonna happen. Like, it's already insane because states' rights, loud tyrant youth. Literally, just because states' rights. We're gonna read into that a bit more, but at the top, it did say, it is time to heed the Constitution and return the issue of abortion to the people's elected representatives. You talk to conservatives, and they're going to say, states' rights, brothers. And it's like, yeah, how'd that fucking go? States' rights? Really? Really? Y'all champion states' rights. My guys, do you not see the problem with this at all? Like, oh, it's frustrating. It's so frustrating. Sorry, Wicked Minnie, I've been missing your comments. I really apologize. I really apologize, Wicked Minnie. I'm gonna go back and reread some of your comments. I just glummed. I just missed it. My bad. Radical right, how so? It just moves the decision back to the individual states where it should be anyways. Overthrow the government. Yuri was right. Yeah, that's a thing. That was a coup d'etat. If you don't think it was a failed coup d'etat at this point, I don't know what to tell you. How does not know having abortion in some states turn into a third world country? You seem overly dramatic. I can expand on that for sure. States should have the right, not the feds. Don't you know that? Sure, I can expand on that. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so this is the problem. Abortion will always happen. It will just happen. It will always be a thing. Women don't magically stop getting raped. They don't magically stop getting, sexually assaulted by their family members. Incest. Cases of rape and incest, okay? This is the clearest moral case, and it should be a slam dunk for anyone and everyone. And it simply says, if a woman is in this position where she is faced with giving birth to the baby of the person who assaulted her, who sexually assaulted her, she should have that right. Because if she doesn't, she's gonna go get that abortion. She's gonna do it, man. And you know how she's gonna do it? In a way that is so insanely dangerous and off the books and away from the law and from medical practice, and she's gonna die. And you're gonna just lose more life. You didn't save a life, you just cost two, okay? Because maybe she would have had a baby with a normal partner in the future if you're really pro-life. And when you don't have a sane legal framework for the country, you create two tiers of citizens. You have the rich who can go to another state to go get their abortion, maybe in Hawaii, maybe they went on vacation. So all the middle class, suburban elite, no problem, they still have abortion. But all the poor, all the mothers who can't afford a second mom, get fucked. Go to the back alley, figure it out, and watch out, because daddy law coming for you. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine trying to consider that? And the insane part, she can't, people just magically have like money in their pocket for a bus to Cali. What are you talking about? Like, who are these people? How many abortions are due to rape and incest? Got a percentage? Does it matter? It's a moral example used to explain to you the very simple perspective, very simple perspective, that some women get pregnant and they just don't want the baby. Sometimes the babies are ectopic, meaning that the mother will die. The mother will die. Seriously, do you know how cheap a Greyhound is? And what is she going to do for income while she's laid up in a hospital? Do you know anything about like the medical industry in America? Are you seriously trying to school me on how cheap a medical procedure is in America? I'm a Canadian. Are you insane? Are you insane to me? Yeah, I'm just gonna take a bus from Texas to California. Let me just cross the country. I'll be back to work. I'm sure I'll have my job and that my kids will feed and clothe themselves. Shouldn't be a problem. I'm sure it's not gonna be a dilemma at all whatsoever. The reason I give that example is that it's a super clear moral example. And if you're struggling with it, that's a you problem. That's not a morality problem. There's nothing wrong with this moral case. You've got a stumbling block in your empathy circle somewhere in you. You don't understand what it's like to be a mom. Now, I'm a dude. I'm a white male, you know, as far as I present, and I get it because I've just listened. Just listen. And what have I been lied about, Wicked Minnie? Explain to me. What have I missed here? What have I missed? What is the cost of pregnancy? What is the cost of giving birth in America? It's only $5,000, everybody. It's just $5K. Go get don't you have $5,000 to give birth? Yeah, let me just, oh, fuck, man. I got 5,000 underneath my keyboard. Holy shit. Isn't that wild? Yeah, if I live in any of these states in the southeast of Texas, aka the Bible Belt, I'll just take a bus to, what is that, like New Mexico? West of Texas? Texas isn't big, is it? Is Texas big? No, it can't be. Look how small it is. It looks so small on the map. Like my thumb can cover it. Texas can't be that big. Just take a bus. The idea that abortion should be mandated by the feds because someone can't get to a state to have one, overly dramatic. Wicked Minnie, you still have not grappled with the very simple moral question. Why does the woman have to leave her state? Why is that okay? Like, you can say it's not a big cost, and we can argue over how big a cost it is. You're wrong, by the way. It's a massive cost. But you still haven't really responded to the question, why does she have to do that? Why can't she just go to a doctor, go to the hospital? Like, why is this government, the government getting so big, they're now getting in the way. They can't even protect a woman going to her doctor. Explain that to me. No reaction to my murdering some folks tweet. Oh, let me check that out. Sorry, I went live, and sorry, I just sort of like put that to the back end. But yeah, let's check it out. Let's see here. Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, let me get to that Montreal player. That should be interesting. So Montreal player and I have some disagreements over this. We've been getting into it on Twitter. So let's go from the top, and then we'll see where we are on it. Same reason she can't shoot heroin. It's not something that people have decided. So here's the case, Wicked Mini. Like, if you start to treat certain issues as medical issues instead of criminal issues, you'll find that the issues go away. Straight up. Like in Canada, we treat abortion as a medical issue. We don't have the same types of problems Americans do. Just straight up. The same thing with like marijuana. Marijuana is another very clean example. It's not the same with like heroin and harder drugs. I would still argue for legalizing all drugs. But I mean, like, come on, we're talking about rapists here. Like, we're getting to a point where you could say states' rights, but some of those states are saying ectopic pregnancies should be a crime. And it's like, do you know what an ectopic pregnancy is? Like, do you actually know what you're talking about right now? Because it doesn't sound like you do. No, it's okay. I'm just joking. Sorry. Yeah, I actually will focus on that. Have you looked into that argument you made? That's something you've been lied to about. What Wicked Mini, if 0.0000001% of abortions were the result of incest and rape, I would still want there to be a legal framework for that person to go to a doctor. What's your argument here? Are you actually saying there's so few people getting raped that it's just like not that big a deal? Like, what are you talking about? No. Even if it's a tiny amount, that person should still be able to see a doctor and not give birth to their rapist baby. Why is this a hard thing? Do you really want to see in your child the person who stole from you, who ate from you, who took? It's monstrous, man. It's dark. But okay, let's actually see if we can get to some constructive dialogue here. CTV is a conservative on Twitch. He does a lot of talk shows. Go check him out. He's been doing a lot of he does the hippy dippy recruitment, hosts space with Mr. Geek, fine, lovely people. He's responding to the same article we are. I hope to see this and a lot more things returned to state government. Let the people of each state decide for themselves how to legislate this medical procedure. So CTV has taken the position of states' rights. And I'm a little surprised by this because America, in my opinion, fought a war over what could be argued to be bodily autonomy, the right to own my body, to not be enslaved. America fought a war over that. The South said states' rights, and the federal government and the North said no, and they fought a war of this. And Montreal player sort of adds some nuance here, and he says, whoa, wait. Death penalty is still a state's thing. So look, they got governance over that. I say, okay, they do, but look at how they're handling it. You got some really messed up scenarios of people dying to like, it's a wildly immoral paradigm where people are like dying to toxic chemicals for dozens of minutes, just like screaming in agony. And I'm not really sure why we're talking about prison when we're talking about healthcare. So Montreal player clarifies, and he says, well, here we're preserving the life of an irredeemable person, the person who's been convicted of a murder, who's, let's say, on death's row. And in the other, you extinguish the life of a person completely innocent and full of potential, which would be the unborn baby in this case. So here's where we are splitting, like almost like total polar opposites. Like there's certain words here that Montreal player has used, and we can expand on this. And you're welcome to come on Discord. We can talk a bit more easily, of course. But like the way certain words are used demonstrate where your thinking comes from. So like, for instance, irredeemable. Well, if you really dig into it, you look into the Innocence Project, you're going to find quite a few people on death's row were actually innocent, that the way that the justice system went about determining that they were guilty was flawed, and now all of a sudden you have states deciding these people ought to die when they did nothing wrong. That's pretty fucked up. But I didn't read his response. So let's catch up to that. The unborn are not individuals deserving of the same set of rights that a full-grown woman ought to have. Now, this is a tough position to take. I'm willing to try to defend it. I think it's a bit tough, but I think I can actually defend it pretty well. And I'm certainly just confused why, if a woman is pregnant or a person is pregnant, why that person loses rights over their body all of a sudden. They just like don't, like it's still Isn't that still their body? Like, why does all of a sudden there's a trump card? That's the part I struggle with. So she doesn't have to, but the unborn are living humans. So yeah, this is the ideological split. I don't believe the unborn are living humans. I think they are essentially a form, like a parasite in a certain sense. They require a host. They're not necessarily living on their own 2 feet. Once you get to the 3rd trimester, stuff changes. My opinion changes. All sorts of things start to happen. But to just straight up say, like, at what point are we saying the unborn are living humans? Even in the ectopic pregnancy? Even when it's like a little zygote that could explode? I'm working out, but it's fun to have a chat later this week. Yeah, sure. Anything that's like fun and constructive. I know you got like a really sweet studio. So yeah, I would love to get into it. I've been looking to do more collabs, especially with someone I disagree with, because that's kind of where there's some spiciness. And I always be like super respectful. I don't want to like make an enemy here. I want to understand your perspective and recognize where I'm splitting and why like my tone might change. Be like, well, listen, our opinions are more radical, so what I'm putting forth will have to be more radical. In our sheltered existences, we accept the murder of individuals for the sake of our convenience, so long as we can, but psychological distance between us and them. Just accept that sometimes it's okay to murder some folks. I'm not saying that it's not okay to murder some folks. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, why is the woman... I just every time we go down this road, there's like blinders on. Like, you can talk all day, all night about the unborn, but why aren't you talking about the perspective of the woman facing a medical procedure that could cost her her life? Pregnancies are not safe. I cannot stress this enough. It is insane to me, to anyone who just says, we'll just have the baby. Motherfucker, women die giving babies. I want children. I don't want someone to force me to have a child. Yeah. Imagine, like, you fall in love with someone. You love this person to death. They support you. They take care of you. And their father rapes you. You gonna have that baby? Seriously? For real? For real? You gonna be forced to have that baby? Like, come on. Some of this shit is diabolical. Clear moral cases. Well, good luck with the copium. Your idea of what a human is proves you have been lied to. Hopefully you wise up with age. Hey, Wicked Mini, can you explain to me why, in the case of an ectopic pregnancy where a zygote gets stuck in the fallopian tube, why a woman should not be able to get an abortion? Can you explain that to me? I'm really curious what your position is on that. And I'm also curious to see what your understanding is of the finer details of the reproductive process. I think a woman should have alive, safe, and accessible abortions, but also it's murdering innocent babies at the same time. Yeah, so Montreal player, this is your problem. If you're saying, I need to understand where you're getting the innocent baby from, because to me, we have a severe disconnect. I'm following what doctors say, man. If I go Wikipedia, we do not talk about, if you just go like straight up pregnancy, man, we don't talk about it that way, right? Like there's gradations. There's an entire process. We talk about like zygotes and embryos and yada, 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 yada. First trimester, second trimester, third trimester. There's a very serious, clear reason why we make these separations. And it's so that we can be like, oh, there's an ectopic pregnancy. We got to stop that before it gets to the next stage where now we have way more serious problems. As soon as the topic of banning abortion comes up, I point out being forced to carry an unwanted child is essentially a parasite. Yeah, which view? Yeah, it's that part where we start to disagree. Because to me, it's unborn. It's an unborn child. But once you get to the third trimester, I don't know, man. It starts to get really squishy, really difficult to say, yeah, you can just have an abortion, no problem. Like, I don't know, man. Like, okay, all right. Now we're starting to have a discussion. But first and second semester, first and second trimester, like, where's the argument? Like, why does she lose? Why does she just lose the right? Why does she no longer get to keep? What happens to her body? The famous example that's given to help to like in philosophical circles, like moral philosophy circles, to discuss this. The analogy given is one day you wake up and your kidney is being used by the government to sustain the life of a famous violinist who needs your kidney for just 9 months. Just 9 months. Now, you can disconnect the pregnancy, but you would kill him. And essentially, the argument goes, not because abortions aren't always intentional, they can sometimes happen, so they can sometimes be forced. It doesn't seem sane or logical that that person has to give up their right to their kidney to keep another person alive, even if it's a full-grown human, even if it's a master violinist, because the sanctity to control your own body is something we think applies even to dead people. We even say you can't go and take someone's organs when they're dead. That could save another person's life because there's some sanctity going on there about your body, about your autonomy. But for some reason, it just ends when it comes to women who are pregnant. It just like evaporates into thin air. It's wild to me. My wife's personal experience with 5 pregnancies and 4 deliveries. I wanted to have my now 18-year-old wonderful human being scrambled. Yeah, Montreal player. I'm not saying this isn't a difficult emotional subject, or that that abortion is morally neutral, that there isn't some sort of trade-off that is happening. But I want you to just really understand that a woman might not have a supportive partner. A woman might have been forced to have this baby, or maybe they had a bad night. Maybe they just crashed or fell asleep too early and someone took advantage of them. And they actually wake up. They find out they're pregnant weeks later, weeks and weeks and weeks later. Just take a very simple case of a date rape. Sometimes women don't totally realize it might have happened. It's all you wake up a bit blurred, maybe. Memory's a bit fuzzy, a bit foggy. Maybe there's some pains, but you're not totally sure. In some states, they're making it impossible to have an abortion after 10 weeks. And many women don't even know they're pregnant at that time. How are you supposed to arrange an appointment with your doctor and take care of something that you might literally not be able to survive? You might have certain medical preconditions that prevent you from having a baby or another baby. Again, pregnancy is dangerous. And this is separate and different from the case you gave, which is I wasn't totally for having this kid. It might have been a big problem, but now look, I have this beautiful, wonderful child who brightens up my day. That's awesome and based. But these are separate scenarios. These are totally different things we're talking about here. And we have to be able to be morally flexible to have a type of law that is able to handle both these cases. Here's my thing too. If I'm doing everything in my power to prevent pregnancy, aside from not having sex, why should I not be allowed to abort? Plan B won't work for me. I have the most effective birth control. Yeah, Loud Tyrant Youth, the analogy given, the other analogy I came across is let's say you put up, you live in a basement and you have a really fertile rug or something. You have a rug and it sprouts flowers. And you put up barriers in your windows to prevent seeds from growing inside your apartment, but some seeds get through the filter and they start growing in your apartment. Do I not have the right to remove those seeds, remove those plants from my own apartment? Why not? I'm trying to prevent it from happening. I'm not saying she shouldn't, I'm just saying it's murder. And our society accepts murder on the daily. So really my position is accept murder. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, but our society accepts murder for, you're actually completely wrong on that. Our society does not accept murder. Last I checked, it's a crime to murder someone. I'm pretty sure it's pretty widely accepted that murder is not acceptable. I don't know where you're getting that. You live in Canada. We don't have, I guess you were going for assisted death, but consent, my guy. Are you forgetting about the consent part? It's not murder if I'm asking you to do it. It's murder if I'm doing it to someone. If I'm taking their will away, I'm taking their opportunity to keep living. And that's where you might have some grounds, right? Right? Because murder is about taking away that potential. Abortion is about taking away the potential. But again, it's not a one-to-one. It's not a straight one-to-one. The baby isn't born yet. The baby might not even make it to term. The baby might in the 3rd term go bad. And in ways that are just insane. Go down the rabbit hole of medical emergencies when it comes to pregnancy, and you're gonna see some shit. And we need to have a medical establishment that can handle that. It's a really simple, it's a really straightforward paradigm. That's why we need the psychological distance. How many people die so we can have cheap oil, cheap goods, the land we take for granted? You don't think there are like trade-offs going on there? How many people die so we can have cheap oil? I mean, you're talking about like colonialism there. I just think that you've gone so far from the topic. I'm not really sure how that's relevant in any way, shape, or form. You're talking about colonialism, cheap oil, cheap goods, which would be like capitalism or like globalism, and the land we take for granted, like colonialism again, or like real estate, I suppose. I have no idea what that has to do with medical procedures. Straight up, just medical procedures. Just a person going to their doctor. Yo, I got this weird thing on my arm. Can I go to the... I just want to go see my doctor, and they're going to go give me some advice about what to do. And the doctors are going to be like, yeah, we've been studying this for decades. We know exactly what to do. First and second trimester abortions, pretty okay. In fact, we've come so long, we got a pill. You could just send you to the mail. Ah, fuck it. You know what? This is the part that I think you're really missing. Like, let's say you make abortion illegal. Let's say you try to stop it like they tried to do in Ireland. Look at how that played out. Look at how that played out. Like, people just distributed contraceptives in the mail. People showed up by boat to deliver contraceptives. And it was such a heinous and insane... Let's fucking go down... Oh my god, yes, let's go there. Oh, let's go. Oh, let's go. What was the major case that caused Ireland to give women the right for reproductive services? There was a very famous case. Woman dies for some stupid fucking reason. Like one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. Here we go. How Savita Halappanavar's death spurred Ireland's abortion rights campaign. Her story galvanized the campaigners calling for an end to the ban and was cited again and again when the country overwhelmingly voted on Friday to repeal the amendment. Dr. Halappanavar's death in 2012 at age 31 from septicemia, an infection she contracted after she was denied an abortion during a miscarriage, set off outrage across the country and gave momentum to a growing call for change. Is this what you want? Because that's what you're going to get with these states' rights. That's what's going to happen. You're going to have young doctors dying to infection because of miscarriages. That's what's going to happen. I'm sorry. We accept death of humans to maintain our way of life. We put psychological distance between them and us to trivialize it. Where's the lie? Oh yeah, I don't think there's anything different than that. But I'm asking you why you put psychological distance between yourself and moms when there is a very simple, clear, moral case that women should have access to doctors so that they don't die from infections from easily treated conditions. It's like such an easy sell. That's why we just need to accept murder for the sake of convenience. We do it all the time, so give the abortions and it's murder. Oh, I'm totally misunderstanding you, Montreal player. You're like abortion's cool because we accept murder in other cases? Am I understanding you better now? You're like colonialism's based on murder, capitalism's based on murder, abortion is murder, and I'm okay with it? Yeah, we should just have like a proper chat. Now I'm curious. Now I'm interested. Because like some would say we should just try to bring death down to zero. Why can't we solve death? Death is a thing that happens to biological bodies. Some creatures have solved it. Maybe we can figure it out. Yeah, basically. Amazing. Okay, that's a first. I have never heard that in the wild, Montreal player. Almost to a T. Every pro-life conservative I've ever spoken with says abortion is murder, therefore it's wrong. Like that's why they say abortion is murder. And of course, you know, you look at a case like this of someone with an infection from a miscarriage, and you're starting to ask, like, is this murder? What is she murdering? An infection? Are like are we really saying bacterial growths now have more, like we're so pro-life. We're so pro-life right now. We can't kill. Oh fuck, I'm so dumb. I'm so stupid. Yeah, it's understanding people through chat, you know. Plus we had someone else in the chat who was flaming me for thinking the way I do. But yeah, like seriously, are we saying that bacterial growth has more right to life than a woman? Is that where we are? I don't understand how we make this okay. You can't say in one instance, states' rights, no biggie, but the states are going to go make things like this common. Things like people dying of infections. Like, bruh. Despite our abortion, she's most likely to get it to preserve the opportunities for our 4 other children. Okay, that's cool, man. Like, I mean, you do you. I got no problem with that. Montreal player, I don't care, man. If you have all the babies, go for it. That's fine. My concern is with women who don't want to have the babies. If she wants to have it. Oh, sorry. I'm a bad reader. If my wife got pregnant right now, despite our aversion, she's most likely to get it, i.e. the abortion, to preserve the opportunities for our 4 other children. So we'd be totally on board with murdering our child, like the mama cat gobbling up the other child. Yeah, I mean, this is the common example, actually. Think of a single working mom who already has a kid, who is pregnant with another, and literally cannot afford the child she has. It's like, it comes down to really basic economics, really simple math, and like the moral case is pretty clear. Even throughout history, like humans have like just straight up like, yeah, have all the babies and 30% of them will die. Fuck it. You know, like whatever. You know, nature's rough. Have more babies. But we've come a long way. Nowadays, like people have 1 to 2 kids, pour all their resources into them, and then like use advanced medical technology to, yeah, do I not? Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't do that earlier, my guy. Yeah, have a good one, Montreal player. I'll see you later. Go check out Montreal player. He does chats with people, smokes some weed, hangs out. It's a pretty chill vibe. So yeah, go give a follow to Montreal player. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll chat some other time. Lol. Yeah, it's an incestuous community, let's say. So this is the example I will always come back to. Like, if we're gonna go full states' rights, is it states' rights to kill an infection? Like, is there any states that are actually gonna allow for this? I'm not so sure. I think America has gone so wild, so unhinged. They will straight up throw doctors in jail for decades for trying to treat ectopic pregnancies. We're there. We have officially reached Gilead. By the summer, the protests are going to be insane. But let's continue with this article. We haven't gotten through it. Deliberations on controversial cases have in the past been fluid. Justices can and sometimes do change their votes as draft opinions circulate and major decisions can be yada yada yada, so they might change their mind, but unlikely. The immediate impact of the ruling as drafted in February would be to end a half-century guarantee. We read all this. Person familiar, Clarence Thomas, we read all this. We're right here. Exceptionally weak. A George W. Bush appointee who joined the court in 2006, Alito argues the 1973 abortion rights ruling was an ill-conceived and deeply flawed decision that invented a right mentioned nowhere in the Constitution and unwisely sought to wrench the contentious issue away from the political branches of government. Alito's draft ruling would overturn a decision by the New Orleans-based Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals that found the Mississippi law ran afoul of Supreme Court precedent by seeking to effectively ban abortions before viability. Roe's survey of history ranged from the constitutionally irrelevant to the plainly incorrect, Alito continues, adding that its reasoning was exceptionally weak and that the original decision has had damaging consequences. I don't know what those damaging consequences are. I'm very curious what damage has been caused by Roe v. Wade. Who was damaged by Roe v. Wade? Christians? The unborn? I'm confused. Quote, men's egos? What you mean you ain't having my baby? I done brought you into this world. I done bring another in through you. Like, Jesus. The inescapable conclusion is that a right to abortion is not deeply rooted in the nation's history and traditions. That's actually, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But it doesn't mean it's wrong. That it's morally wrong. Alito approvingly quotes a broad range of critics of the Roe decision. He also points to liberal icons, such as the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Amazing. Oh, Jesus. I came in you, it isn't coming out of you for 9 months. Jesus. Jesus. What I left stays. I'm a farmer. I only sow the fields once. Like, Jesus. He also points to liberal icons such as the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Yo, respect a dead icon challenge for conservatives. Literally impossible. Literally impossible. They took issue with the reasoning in Roe or its impact on the political process. That's interesting. Alito's skewering of Roe and the endorsement of at least 4 other justices for that unsparing critique is also a measure of the court's rightward turn in recent decades. Roe was decided 7-2. No, you're not wrong, Loud Tyrant Youth. Like, it was decided 7-2. How was the reasoning exceptionally weak? You're bringing it from a 7-2 decision to a 5-4. And y'all really gonna say exceptionally weak? Come the fuck on. Come on, conservatives. Have some honesty with yourselves and just how, like, off the chain you've gotten. 5 Republican appointees adjusting. Yeah, okay. The overturning of Roe would almost immediately lead to stricter limits on abortion access in large swaths of the South and Midwest, with about half of the states set to immediately impose broad abortion bans. Any state could still legally allow the procedure. And some states have, of course, made it legal. They went out of their way to pass a law to be like, yo, we're getting ready. The Constitution does not prohibit the citizens of each state from regulating or prohibiting abortion, the draft concludes. Roe and Casey arrogated that authority. We now overrule those decisions and return that authority to the people and their elected representatives. Yep. Get fucked. The draft contains the type of caustic, rhetorical flourishes Alito is known for, and that has caused Roberts, his fellow Bush appointee, some discomfort in the past. At times, Alito's draft opinion takes an almost mocking tone as it skewers the majority opinion in Roe, written by Justice Harry Blackmun, a Richard Nixon appointee who died in 1999. This should be spicy. This is it. Like, as if, well, we heard Loud Tyrant Youth from Wicked Mini. Yeah, just get a Greyhound bus. What does it cost? $10? What's a Greyhound bus cost? Quote, Roe expressed the feeling that the 14th Amendment was the provision that did the work, but its message seemed to be that the abortion right could be found somewhere in the Constitution, and that specifying its exact location was not of paramount importance. Alito writes, yeah, what a condescending tone. How much can one banana cost? Yeah, exactly. Alito declares that one of the central tenets of Roe, the viability distinction between fetuses not capable of living outside the womb and those which can, makes no sense. Yo, Dr. Samuel Alito explaining to the world how the concept of viability makes no sense. Wow, where did this guy go to fucking medical school? Are you kidding me? In several passages, he describes doctors and nurses who terminate pregnancies as abortionists. Yeah, they all go to a fucking shrine and worship abortion, the doctor of aborting. He got his medical degree from fucking Jesus, from Jesus. When Roberts voted with liberal jurists in 2020 to block a Louisiana law imposing heavier regulations on abortion clinics, his solo concurrence used the more neutral term abortion providers. In contrast, Justice Clarence Thomas used the word abortionist 25 times in a solo descent in the same case. Let's look up this word that I've literally never heard of. A person who carries out abortions, typically applied to someone not working in a hospital or used to convey disapproval of abortion. Literally derogatory. Literally derogatory in the dictionary from the fucking Supreme Court. Yeah, let's just trust these people. These are totally good faith rhetoricians. They just care about the truth, everybody. They care about truth and justice. Calling people an abortionist. What the fuck? Yo, like, that's like shit you find on 4chan. Like, people just like adding isms to stuff to kind of turn their political other into like some great beast of evil. Ugh. Alito's use of the phrase egregiously wrong to describe Roe echoes language Mississippi Solicitor General Scott Stewart used in December in defending his state's ban on abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. The phrase was also contained in an opinion Kavanaugh wrote as part of a 2020 ruling that jury convictions in criminal cases must be unanimous. Well, I'm glad you're having fun. Bro, you belong in 4chan? Have you listened to yourself? I mean, Michael, do you think I not know what 4chan is? Yo, I know what 4chan is, man. I know it. I know what 4chan is. But I know, I get it. It's a bit strange coming from a country where, you know, women just go down the block and go to the pharmacy and get, you know, something called a contraceptive. I don't know if you've heard of this from your country, but they use these things called contraceptives, whether it's before they've had sex or after they've had sex. And sometimes, can you believe it? Some women get pregnant even though they didn't want to, and having that baby might end in them dying, you know? And there's only really one option. Let's get those people in jail right away. Let's make sure we got babies being born in prisons to dead moms. That is the new goal, everybody. We are starting a new arc in America. We are going to see how many women we can kill in prisons by getting them to give birth to babies. It's going to be a hoot. I can't wait to see images of women handcuffed to gurneys trying to give a birth to the babies of their rapists. It's going to be great. That's why you are racist idiot. I'm a born American, Texas baby. Hey, Michael, I got a question for you. In Texas, apparently, especially with Roe V Wade being struck down, once it's struck down, someone in California will be able to sue a taxi driver in Texas for driving a woman to the hospital. How's that for freedom? Huh? How's that for freedom? Y'all are about to get sued by Californians for driving a woman to the hospital. You're going to start jailing doctors and thinking you're the good people. You're like, yeah, we definitely did that. Hey, Michael, I got a question for you. In Ireland, where abortion was illegal, a woman died from infection. A 31-year-old doctor died from infection because she was denied an abortion during a miscarriage. Do you think that women who have miscarriages ought to die to abortion? Infections? Is that where you are right now? I'm just curious what state of moral decay America is in, because it's pretty hilarious. It's pretty amazing. They will have to go somewhere else to kill the babies. Okay, Michael. Yeah, that sounds like something white folk can do. No problem. Oh, yeah, all the suburban moms can afford to go take a nice, lovely plane trip to California while, you know, maybe, the Californians are suing the doctors. Lol, there are medical exemptions, loser. Oh, are there? Is that true? How? Michael, are you sure about that? How sure are you? No exceptions. Oh, this is going to be fun. Everybody. This should be fun. Okay. So, from France 24. Let's see how the world looks at you. Let's see how France looks at the American medical establishment. Texas enacts 6-week abortion law without exceptions for rape or incest. Amazing. Let's go, Michael. You got someone in mind? Is that what this is about? There's someone you've been eyeing, and you're like, yeah, I can make them have my baby. Is that what this is about? You feeling a bit lonely, Michael? Do you feel like maybe she just doesn't like you? But that's not really, no is not enough, you know. You better make sure she has your baby. Is that where we're at? Is that really what we're okay with? Explain to me, explain to me how many babies from rape or incest you would allow. I'm curious. Dozens? Hundreds? What about an entire orphanage dedicated just to these babies that mothers will, of course, put into adoptive care, because who wants to look at, like, come on, what are you talking about here? That's my comeback. Yeah, man. I'm saying you're gearing up. You're gearing up for a night out. Panty raids weren't enough. Yeah. That's my comeback. It's a pretty good one, I think. You're literally like, yeah, this is okay. I'm totally cool with this. I don't see how this could possibly go wrong. I'm sure this will solve things. We're just gonna let the rapists have their way. Texans coming in here shouting freedom and being like, yeah, but have we really considered how much freedom rapists have? What about incest lovers? What about dads who love their daughters like Trump? Have we really considered their freedom? Yeah, I honestly, I'm kind of fed up with the whole unborn ought to have more rights than the born. I can't get over it. Let's see how France 24 reported on this law. I'm sure it's going to be totally normal. Wow. Look at all them fine white folk. Look at all them white folk. Oh, those are some evangelicals if I ever seen them.
Abortions past 6 weeks has just gone into effect. Greg Abbott said the law would save lives.
The bill that I'm about to sign that ensures that the life of every unborn child who has a heartbeat will be saved from the ravages of abortion.
Texas's so-called
You know what's my favorite thing about this? That whole heartbeat law thing actually just is entirely a simulation. It's just like an electrical pulse that, you know, like some technicians turned into a heartbeat. It's actually like not something you would normally hear. It's a fabrication. But, you know, they'll hang their hat on anything.
heartbeat bill is one of the country's most restrictive, making no exceptions for cases of rape or incest.
There you have it, everybody. No exceptions.
Only for a medical emergency.
Oh, it's just got to be your life better be in danger, or else you've got to have your rapist baby. Oh, you're only 17 years old and your dad has groomed you from a young age. Gotta have his baby. Doesn't seem like there's any problems with this at all.
6 weeks, many women aren't even aware yet.
Yo, I love when Americans fight me about how it's not a third world country and they're the country of child pageantry and incestuous babies.
Pregnant. Pro-choice groups
Incest
say
orphanage.
99%
Yeah.
of all abortions performed in Texas
Absolutely
happen after 6 weeks,
diabolical.
making the law a de facto ban on abortion in the state. And the Texas
Yeah.
law goes even further, encouraging private citizens to sue those who help a woman get an abortion by rewarding them with $10,000 if they're successful. The ACLU says the law creates a bounty hunting scheme to encourage harassing lawsuits.
Cool. Bounty hunters. It's not America without a bounty hunter. We wouldn't want doctors, you know, providing care for septicemia. You don't want that. That would be fucked up. That would be fucked up. Women ought to die from abortion. No, sorry, I can't say that on stream. That's just a joke. Just a joke, YouTube.
Huge breaking news tonight. And I can't even believe I'm going to tell you what I'm about to tell you. But in a highly, indeed, as far as I can tell, utterly unprecedented leak.
There are medical exceptions in Texas. No matter what you say, a doctor determines that, not a baby killer. Hey, Michael, you've just admitted you're totally cool. You're absolutely, totally fine and A-okay. It's amazing to me that you're actually taking this. It's crazy. You're like, yeah, she can have that rapist baby and there's no medical problems. Cool. Good job. We got another rapist baby out there, everybody. We're making society better. You know who hasn't gotten enough rights in society? It's the people who commit crimes. Yeah, because it's insane to me, Michael, that you're struggling with it. You're just like, yeah, that's cool. That's totally fine. And we still haven't gotten to the incest part, which is also, are you still cool with that? Are you still cool with that, Michael? You still cool with the incest babies? Is there someone in your family that's caught your eye in Texas? Fucking Texans. Oh, God. It's so good. He's like, ain't no one taking my right to fuck my sister. I ain't. Because, Michael, you're defending it. I'm going to call you the thing that you're defending. If this is the hill you want to die on, like, bro, yeah, I'm going to call you that under the sun. See how it shows how little of an argument you have when you just call people rapist. Actually, no, it doesn't. You are supporting a law that provides extra freedom to rapists. And when I say that's kind of weird, you're getting defensive. So kind of makes me think that there's some personal bias going on there. You know, it's a pretty simple, clear, moral argument to make. It's pretty straightforward. Like, maybe we shouldn't be rewarding the rapists with their babies, but you're struggling with it for some reason. And I have no idea why. So I assume it's because of a personal vested interest in this law. You're like really invested in it. You're like, hell, Chuck yeah, brother. Chuck yeah. No one gets defensive, just laughing at a saying crazy lefty shit. Well, you see, Michael, in my country, where I come from, we don't have laws that protect rapists. We actually have laws that put rapists in jail. Believe it or not, it's a bad system. It doesn't work very well, but that's kind of where we are. So yeah. Also, yeah, you're like doing the whole all caps thing, calling me a loser. Like, triggered much? Fucking snowflake melting, literally melting on chat, just like sweaty the whole way through. Just like, actually, you're the lefty crazy. It's like, man, bruh, you live in a very interesting country.
From the Supreme Court, Politico has obtained what they say.
Oh my God, look at the all caps. We actually fell asleep waiting for you all's crazy reaction and capturing them on video. Well, there you go, Michael. You're actually just proving our point. Actually, yo, thanks for confirming our point. Yo, I appreciate that. You're proving to all the lefties that this isn't actually about the unborn. This isn't actually about protecting life. This is actually just about making libs cry. Because you guys want to jerk off to it later. You're like, oh God, liberal tears. Oh, finally, I've got nothing to entertain me because my culture's dead and we have nothing to discuss. We have no new ideas and all we care about is defending the rich and powerful. But oh, thank God, we passed this insanely heinous law that the world over considers with just like shock and awe. I didn't go to Canada. I went to France and was like, yeah, let's look at how Europe's looking at this. And they're like, what the fuck is going on, man? And the conservatives, like fucking clockwork, are like, oh yeah, oh baby, oh yeah, the libs are upset. It's like, y'all, are you okay? I'm upset because real people are going to have fewer rights. I'm upset because women didn't have the right to vote 100 years ago. I'm upset because real people are being harmed. And I don't like that. And I'm confused why people are so excited to harm people. Like, you're like literally getting off on it. 30 out of 50 states will ban abortion soon. You all are the minority. Michael, do you understand that America is not the world? Do you understand that there is an entire world outside of America? Canada? Have you heard of this country called Canada? It will be harder to kill babies. Hey, Michael, I live in Canada, my guy. I live in Canada. We have doctors in a medical. We don't bankrupt people for having babies. You understand? You understand? But cool. I'm glad that you have sold your heart out. That you have made yourself so impossible to communicate with that you literally think doctors kill babies. That's literally where you're at. Did you know that when people ramp up for mass political violence, one of the first things they do is start to dehumanize the other? You ever stop and ask yourself why you're calling doctors murderers? You ever stop and wonder what's up with that rhetoric? Because I ain't calling you a murderer. I'm saying you're just a bit invested in this law. You're a bit defensive right now. It's a bit curious. Canadians have lost their charter rights. Bro, I'm wearing a freedom hat. What are you talking about? I live in one of the freest countries on the fucking planet. Freedom!
Is an initial draft majority opinion written by Justice Alito showing the Supreme Court striking down Roe v. Wade. Quote, Roe was egregiously wrong from the start.
Yeah, did you hear that? We don't have charter rights, everybody. We just magically lost them. Anyone against abortion should have to take care of one of those babies. Yeah, Dan, that would be a really great. Michael, you are now adopting several children. You now have to adopt 10 kids.
Alito writes, we hold that Roe and Casey must be overruled. He writes in the document labeled as the opinion of the court. Again, I'm reading from a political article. It is time to heed the Constitution and return the issue of abortion to the people's elected representatives. Now,
amazing.
Politico mentions this in the piece. This has never happened before, as far as I know, a draft opinion in the court leaking. A. B. This would be, if true, the most seismic court ruling in 50 years, most likely.
And we're going from a 7-2 decision to a 5-4. So certainly going to bolster confidence in the court that it's not a political body, that the Federalist Society, just ignore that. Just ignore that dark money body. Let's just not take too close a look at our Supreme Court, okay? I take care of my own, as will the Woodbid Killers now. Hey, Michael, have you grappled at all with my question? Why are you calling doctors killers? You know they take the Hippocratic oath. Yay, Trump MAGA, thank you. Yeah, see, this is what I love about conservatives. They have to wrap themselves in their culture so fucking hard because they have no personality. Zero identity outside of like what they're told to think. I love that they all say sheep. They all have the same like the same phrases about calling people sheep. You can go watch them march and they'll have no mottos, no new mottos, no good speeches. It's all like just the same freedom this and liberty that and Trump MAGA and freedom. And it's just like, y'all ever get into a real conversation with a human being? Or do y'all just like sit at home and watch TV and then regurgitate what the talking heads tell you to think? Because the thing I find most amazing is how consistent conservatives are in their cruelty. By the way, DeSantis will run this time, not Trump. We got ourselves a DeSantis boy. Oh, we can keep you, Michael. You're our pet now. You're a pet.
Earthquake in the lives of America's women, in our legal culture, in our political culture. Erin Carmon is a senior correspondent at New York Magazine, where she covers gender law and politics.
Yeah, you gotta have at least one pet.
She joins me now. Erin, we booked you.
So drop a follow, subscribe, like the channel. Michael, come on, look at this great back and forth you're getting with the real libcuck.
Tonight for a block.
Bro, you are all the ones can't have conversations without breaking down with hate. I mean, I'm literally laughing half the time. I'm literally like struggling to contain my laughter at how absurd and cruel conservatives have become. It's like watching someone beat a dog and you're like, bro, beating dogs is wrong. And the person's like, actually, and you're like, you just gotta laugh at a certain point because you're just like, someone's actually going that far? Bro, I cannot believe, I cannot believe it. Actually? And it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, look, it's a whole community of dog beater. like this is where we're at. Me catching fish in Animal Crossing. Yeah, Lautaro, he's just chilling in the background, like listening to me freak out. I just don't get it. I just don't understand where conservatives are coming from, other than like a position of hating doctors or hating women. It's really hard to grapple with. Just like, why do you hate doctors? Why do you hate the entire medical establishment? It's like doctors and scientists have been working on abortion for decades. They've like grappled with this issue in moral ways and ethical ways and in medical ways. And then conservatives come in. Well, actually. Never sub to you. I just searched Scotus, live to laugh at you all crying, and you're the first one of the day. Well, Michael, you got a pretty fucking sad day ahead of you. Like, what are you gonna do when there's, like, are you really just drinking lib tears because you got nothing else to do with your life? That's fucking weird, man. It's super weird. Like, when I hogwatch, it's usually because conservatives are angry about something, but I can't actually understand what the something is. So I watch until I understand what the something is, and then we all have a laugh about it. And that's why we followed the Freedom Convoy for so long. When conservatives watch libs, they watch it to see the effect of their cruelty. Like, do you hear how that's different? You hear how it's different for someone to be like, I'm waiting to see this person get like visibly upset, or to cry, or to feel like they're in danger, or all these things. But usually when libs are laughing at conservatives and like looking in, it's like, bro, what are you guys on about? Did you do your homework at all? Like, what are you on? Full of joy, listening to liberal tears, working on ATVs in the shop. Okay, that's a vibe. Yeah, but Michael, I'm trying to explain to you, it is fucked up you get joy out of cruelty. That's the part that libs struggle with. They were like, bro, why are you gobbling that up? It's really weird. It's really dark. It's like someone trips and falls on their face and breaks their teeth in, and the lib goes and helps that person up, and the conservative points and laughs, and the lib goes, bro, why are you laughing? And the conservative goes, because you helped someone who fell. Like, this is where we're at, man. Like, okay, you can have that win. You can have that win. But thank you for explaining to anyone curious what is at the heart of conservative ideology. It's just cruelty. It's just pathetic cruelty. It is someone laughing at an injured person. That is all conservatism is. Joy and less babies dying. Okay, Michael. Yeah. Have you ever tried to communicate that to a doctor who actually performs these procedures? Why you want to kill them so much? Well, Michael, unfortunately, I actually learned a little bit about the subject before I just spouted off in all caps in the chat. And golly gee, it's a bit more complicated than you're making it seem.
That it seemed like maybe there was a little like failure to price in that reality in the political class, and then this.
Yes, Michael. Doctors are not selling opiates. They're Yeah. My favorite doctor that did it for the money was Tiller. You know, the guy that the abortion provider that was murdered. Remember him? He got murdered for providing medical care. Look, you guys are murdering doctors. Isn't that wild? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that an odd arc? Man, I know things are wrong when doctors are getting targeted, and everything you say just kind of like further cements that y'all are shadowboxing. You've made up apparitions of things that scare you, and then it justifies pretty much all the cruelty. And then in order to sort of rationalize the cruelty, you laugh at people who are injured by the cruelty, and you go, that's good because it's too difficult to actually digest that you're a shitty person doing shitty things. So instead of actually, you know, having some personal growth, actually listening for once, you just have to make up that abortion is not what it is, that it's actually about murder, and that doctors are making money, which they're not. They're actually putting their lives on the line often. Almost seems like the argument is backwards. Yeah. At a certain point, like you just gotta be like aghast, like, wow. So this is who we're up against. This is how far they'll go. They literally are laughing. Like this is what conservatives do in their pastime. It's fucking wild. I play video games and like chill with cool people in my pastime. I don't like Jesus.
Literally crossed 2 minutes before you came on air. What is your reaction?
Chris, I'm gobsmacked for the same reasons that you are, in the sense that Politico has posted a 98-page opinion. Again, it is a draft. We do not know if it will change between now and when we expect the court to hand down its opinion in June.
Probably not.
It is a detailed, seemingly authenticated draft written by Samuel Alito that would make abortion illegal in at least half the country the day that it goes into effect. What's shocking is that we have it. You know what's wild is
political activism on the court. Just it's just a normal thing that conservatives can do nowadays.
Shocking is the impact that it will have on real people's lives. Unfortunately, anybody who listened to the justices deliberate in December.
Your explaining means nothing and full of bullshit. Where's the lie, my guy? The only people that believe you explaining are lefty turds. It's why you have no viewers. Hey, Michael, my self-esteem doesn't come from the amount of viewers I have. I don't fucking like wake up and go, how many viewers am I gonna get today? Like, yeah, no, that's not a thing. Also, your explaining means nothing. Great argument. I know when I'm in a debate and when I disagree with someone, I just say that they're wrong and I win. That's how arguments work. You just got to say the other person's bad and wrong enough times and there it is. What is it with them in attacking your views? Because, Loud Tyrant Youth, conservatives are at heart insecure. They're deeply insecure about their political beliefs. They're deeply insecure about their masculinity often. And so they, instead of dealing with these insecurities like a normal person, developing self-esteem through hobbies, through community events, finding friends, they instead work to drink liberal tears because it helps them get through, I guess. It makes them feel better. You know, it's just a little bit of feeling better. Sound on the video is too loud? Okay. Even that laugh is disingenuous? Yeah, Michael, if you're at the part where you're telling someone whether their laughter is disingenuous or not, I think you're the one full of shit. Like, actually, I don't think you're actually laughing right now. I know what your laugh looks like. Actually, like, like, Jesus, what a fucking chatter. It's amazing.
What does seem still to be up in the air is what will Chief Justice
Thanks for the heads up.
Roberts do? Because according to Politico's reporting, at least, his vote is still up for grabs. We heard him in December clearly say that he was interested in undoing the viability line, which is a way of overturning Roe without actually saying we are overturning Roe. Right. What's striking about what I've been able to read from Justice Alito's opinion is that he says very clearly, we are overturning Roe. We are overturning Casey, which strengthened Roe. And the impact of that would be absolutely devastating on millions of people who can become pregnant, who live in hostile jurisdictions, and it would certainly open the door to what we were originally going to talk about today, which is a proposed national ban passed by Republicans. So this would enormously change people's lives, again, if this opinion can get to a majority. We know that people often will leak deliberations by the court after the fact. We don't usually hear or get to read the
Smoking a bowl, scrolling, watching tears. Yeah, what a weird vibe, my guy. Like, does it not hear you? Do you not hear any of the voices from like women that you respect in your life? There's no like mothers or sisters or like there's no women in your life who have just simply communicated that a woman who is getting a miscarriage probably shouldn't die from an infection. Like, no one's communicated why that's a thing that should be okay. No one. Are you literally just a single dude? Is there literally no one in your life? Do you not have any positive female? There's the problem. That's the real problem in America. They've so crushed women underfoot. They just don't listen to them. None of ever wanted to kill babies. Yeah, Michael, no woman is talking to you if you come at them with that. That probably explains it. That one statement just explained everything. Like I said, there are medical exceptions in Texas. Yeah, this is somebody who is the hinged person watching unhinged people. Yes. Okay there, buddy. Okay, buddy. You doing okay? Hey, why don't you go help are you gonna become one of the bounty hunters? I'm curious, since fuck it. I'm gonna move to California. I'm gonna hire you. I'm gonna hire you to be a bounty hunter for me. You want to be a bounty hunter? You want to go round up some doctors for me? It would be an interesting application of the Texas law that you're so supportive of. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just find a way to. I'm sure there's some sort of incest community that's thriving in Texas. I mean, they just did pass a law that's A-okay with it, so there's obviously some sort of community that's pro-incest in America. So why don't we just empower them to, just run roughshod over the whole country? Fuck it, What is it? What do women matter? Women, who need them?
It is still possible. I don't know.
Oh, you're right, Loud Tyrant Youth. If he marries her, he can just make sure she's barefoot and in the kitchen. Right. No woman is dying in Texas because she needs an emergency C-section. It's almost like you haven't grappled with this at all. It's almost like you've woken up out of a coma and are just entering into the conversation. Wild.
How likely it is still possible that between now and the end of June, there will be some haggling, some change in the opinion. But we do know that the votes are.
Okay, but Michael, you are totally cool. You're totally fine. A-okay. With if there's no medical complications and she can have the baby, and it's from her rapist. The person that broke into her home. Maybe it's something violent. Literally a criminal. You're cool with that guy. His rights being protected. We got to make sure his sperm stays, full of its potential. Wouldn't want a dude to not have a baby. He may be serving 30 to life in prison for aggravated assault. But thank fuck he's got custody rights with his child. We wouldn't want him not to be able to see his baby. That's where we're at. It's wild to me. It's honestly amazing.
Apparently they're from conference.
No, Loud Tyrant Youth. You see, emergency C-sections and abortions are literally identical. I have never looked into abortion whatsoever. I have zero understanding of how it works, but I'm pretty sure they're the same, right?
For Justice Alito to have
Basically
gotten at least an initial sign-off to write a majority opinion that cleanly,
Plan B? C-section? Yeah, basically the same thing.
unmistakably overturns Roe v. Wade.
Yes, just to be clear, the reporting from Politico is that there are 5 votes for this majority opinion. So whether there's 5 votes there, then there are the 3 liberals, and then Roberts in opposition. Or am I wrong on that, Erin?
I think he was assigned to a majority, which means that when they took their votes on Friday after the oral argument, there would have been votes for at least this outcome.
Right.
But when justices then circulate the opinion, they still need to get the.
If you get raped, you could get an abortion. Just don't wait 3 months. Literally putting a time limit. She could get it right away because she knows she was raped. Yeah, date rape's not a thing. Are you fucking insane? Yo, conservatives are literally like, it's like going to the fucking zoo sometimes and you're just like, wow. Where did you get dropped on the head as a child? Yeah, man, I'm just going to my doctor. I'm sure it won't take long to schedule an appointment, and I'm sure it won't cost much. Medical treatment in America is cheap, right? It doesn't cost any money to go to the doctor. Good thing I got all these savings from this job I work that pays me so well. I'm totally recovered now from the violent sexual assault. I'm just gonna go do this other incredibly emotionally difficult thing all on my own. And yes, just leave my other kids home alone while I go do this medical procedure. Totally cool. Why wait for the heart to start pumping? Because they pay for all babies with heartbeats. Okay, Michael. Okay, Michael. Okay. All right. Okay. If you talk with a conservative long enough about something they care deeply enough, eventually, this has got to be like a law or a rule somewhere, but eventually you will get to a conspiracy theory. You will eventually find at the heart of all the cruelty and the ignorance, just like some really bizarre fact, like fact in quotes, of course. Like for instance, paying more for babies with heartbeats. Just a made up thing. Michael just makes it up. He doesn't actually know if this is true. He's just made it up. And if you push him, he might come with some really bizarre source that we've never heard of. That's like in some corner of the internet that caters to conservative interests. But it always astounds me that if you talk long enough, you will find a conspiracy theory, some sort of deeply wrong, like fact, some claim that is just absolute bullshit. Or if there is no conspiracy, it's actually just straight up cruelty. Like Michael's just like totally cool. He's just totally cool with a time limit. He's like, oh yeah. There weren't enough doctors to kind of handle the throughput of women needing abortions. Oh well, I guess you gotta have the baby. Like, you are so dumb. I speak truths. Yo, I think I'm drinking your tears now, Michael. I think I'm drinking conservative tears. This is actually what the arc is. We're all watching conservatives cry and moan about how the whole world thinks they're moral abrogates and that they should be sent back to the dark ages where they belong. You are so dumb. I speak truths. What did I say that was factually wrong? No, that's what's amazing, Michael. None of what you're saying. Well, actually, the thing you're saying is that is almost certainly factually wrong is because they pay more for babies with heartbeats. What is that about? Like, what are you saying here? Is that a citation? Is this like a thing that's happening? This is made up. You made this part up. You made up the because they pay more for babies. That's invented. You had to invent it. You've got 10 minutes to come up with a source for that. I give you a full 10 minutes to come up with a source. Yeah, I mean, I know I'm pretty entertaining. I like to be, dramatic and exciting. So hit that follow, hit that subscribe.
Other justices to fully sign on. So there have been times that in the process of writing, justices changed their mind. Planned Parenthood versus Casey was actually an example of this, in which in the course of writing it, there was negotiations. So I would say that the fact that somebody is leaking this is telling us that that person hopes that they can sway perhaps Chief Justice John Roberts to split the difference a little bit. Again, I'm totally speculating, but this extraordinary leak, I think, needs to be read on its own as somebody.
Probably someone's leaking it because they're pretty worried, but I don't think it's going to change very much.
Really trying to draw attention to what the court is about to do to the lives of the American people.
Yes, I mean, that's part of what's so shocking about it, is that it seems like a...
Oh, you know how, conservatives are deeply insecure people? They love to call people cucks. It's like you guys know you're signaling right now, right? Your guys' obsession with being cucked is kind of revealing. Not gonna lie.
A signal flare, right? I mean, a complete moment of break glass desperation, right? 50 years that has built up to this moment in which a sustained attack on reproductive rights in this country by the political forces that lost in Roe and then again in Casey, to gut it, to whittle it away, to try to sort of eviscerate it, everything but overturn. That the moment is here. The wolf is at the door, and they are going to overturn Roe.
The sky has fallen.
Yeah, diabolical. Absolutely diabolical.
That's the message of this. And again, whoever leaked this, and I have zero insight. I'm just responding.
I know, Loud Tyrant Youth. Like, I'm still waiting. To have an explanation for this. They pay more for babies with heartbeats. Just like a black market for baby hearts? Like what? What are you and then when you ask about it, it's just anger and snowflake melting. Just like absolute defensive-ness.
Real time to this. Erin, to your point, and again, this is going to drive our news, I think, quite a bit in the aftermath of it, but it doesn't, this is the beginning of something and not the end in a million different ways, both.
The beginning of Gilead, everybody. Yeah. America's officially splitting into two.
Not that this opinion is law, we don't know that, but there's a lot to wrestle with in the aftermath of this, and hopefully you can come back
almost certainly
as we wrestle with it. Erin Carmone, thank you so much for joining us. I'm so glad that we had you.
Thank you, Chris.
So yeah, I don't know what to say other than America done lost its goddamn mind. I'm pretty sure that by the summer, doctors are paid for any procedures, Dan Dufour says. From what I understand, it's like through the insurance, and insurance is deciding all it. Like the doctors send their notes on the procedures they've done to like a billing department within the hospital. The hospital sends that bill to the insurance companies. They argue over prices, and then the output of that argument is like what bills people have to pay. The hospital, the patients, all that jazz. I'm not really sure where we're going. Okay, here we go. There is a Planned Parenthood list from 2020 doggy that breaks down aborted babies' worth at different points of life. Okay, you saying a thing is different than a source. I'll try my best to understand what the fuck you're talking about. Get ready, more 5-2 wins incoming thanks to Daddy Trump. It's amazing. I mean, I will not argue with you that Trump was wildly successful for the Republican cause. I just am concerned that Republicans are pretty okay with the dude who's like tried to overthrow the government. So y'all coming across kind of fascist right now. I hate to say it. Oh, Trump is the daddy. Yeah, of course. Of course he's the daddy. Of course. They're deeply insecure. Deeply insecure. Michael seems to think that they get more money. Yeah, Dan. He's got it in his head that like somehow doctors are like, I get to abort another baby. This will mean more money. I'm just like, bro, what? Bro, what? Yeah, when I try to search what you're putting, I have no idea what you're talking about, Michael. There is a Planned Parenthood list from 2020 doggy. Don't know what that means. That breaks down babies' worth at different points of life. Bro, that might be something as simple as like it costs different. Maybe you just didn't understand the document and it was just like outlining the cost of different medical procedures at different states of gestation. Is it seriously that dumb? Oh my God, conservative, stop. Ah, it's amazing. Oh God, this is why you need the source. You gotta like figure out how poorly they read a policy document. It's just like, yeah, so like as a woman progresses from first to second to third trimester, there are different costs that might be incurred because different procedures may be required. And conservatives are like, they're literally counting the dollars. I'm so glad Biden was president for this and not Trump. Why? I'm curious about that. What difference does it make? I mean, if Trump would have won, if they had successfully overthrown the government in their coup d'etat, there would never be another president, right? Like Trump would be the last American president. He might still be the last American president. We're all sort of worried about that on this side of the Seine. Yeah, who's buying these babies? Planned Parenthood sold the babies, not the cost of the abortion. You know, that's this is what I meant about conservative ideology. At the bottom, it's always a conspiracy theory. Snopes, Planned Parenthood, selling babies. You believe in literal baby brain. You're fucking like you're dumb. You're dumb. You're a dumb person. You don't understand what you're looking at, and you straight to jail. Like straight to jail. Does this video prove Planned Parenthood sells fetal tissue illegally? Well, not really. Not really. Not really. Maybe you should look just a bit beyond the fold, because it's not totally what you think it is. But educating a conservative is literally impossible. You can educate children, but once they become conservatives, they're basically, their brains are broken, unfortunately. They can't understand a nuanced situation. Everything's black or white. Yeah. Okay. What's the actual reality? Yada, yada, yada. Okay, despite the fact that this video is more than 2 hours long and contains very little in the way of specifics about exactly what the Planned Parenthood representative is actually offering or selling. Amazing. A 2-hour video and you guys can't even get your fucking smoking gun. Incredible. You can stick your head in the sand, but those are facts. I'm on Snopes. I'm on Snopes. Amazing. Amazing. Absolutely. And literally pulling up the smoking gun of the original video occurs at this minute, states a price of $30 to $100, but it's unclear exactly what she is talking about. In the unedited version, Nukatola adds a little clarification. Quote, it has to do with space issues. Are you sending someone there who is doing everything, or is there staff? What exactly are they going to do? Is there shipping involved, or are you coming to pick it up? It almost sounds like there is maybe a nuanced situation here. Snopes also said the Hunter Biden laptop was fake Russian disinformation. We got a live one, everybody. We got an holy fuck, amazing. Amazing. Yeah, they proved it. They proved it, Michael. Is that how that works? Is that really how that works? Is this how you think that works? This shit's fucking amazing. This is honestly amazing. Like, you can give like a book to a conservative and be 100% certain they will come away with a wildly different narrative. Like we did not read the same words on the same page. We're on the same article, and yeah, you came away with it with some weird thoughts. But hey, this was fun. I have to go. I hope you enjoyed yourselves, even if we were talking about something a bit upsetting and a bit insane, because the American empire is crumbling, and we are watching its moral state decay and fall into the sea, essentially. The West is watching aghast. Anyone who knows moms or has sisters is just like, what the fuck are you guys doing? But hey, that's the stream. Wasn't going to stream today. I'm normally off Monday through Wednesday, but wanted to kind of catch up on this because it's insane, and I couldn't contain myself. I was just so upset. So drink it up. You drink up the tears, because I guess that's what motivates you. It happened live at the Senate. Oh God, Michael, you're so dumb. You're so dumb. It's painful. I can't untangle just how dumb Michael is. So we'll do it another time. I'll see you later. Bye. Bye, everyone. See you later. Au revoir. À la prochaine. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good day. See ya. See ya. Bye. Bye, Dan.